Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial. It's Kate. Today we're going to be creating this fun piece. I'm really excited about it and I hope you are too. If you want to see how to create this yourself, then just keep watching. In this video, we are going to be doing wet on wet for the sky. So you're going to wet your entire paper with water. You don't want it too saturated that you have puddles, but you do want it wet enough that the pigments will pull into each other. So just like a shine to it, if you will. I'm also using washi tape on all of my edges, so that way after we're done, we'll have a nice clean, crisp line. Alright, I'm grabbing my Grabie Art palette here, and we're going to be using three main colors for the sky. They're all fluorescent colors. They're purple, pink, and orange, and I love them. You can tell that my set is a little loved. Alright, so I'm just going to show you on a paint palette the colors that we're using. Purple, pink, and orange. And I'm also using a water brush pen. If you don't have a water brush pen, you can use any regular like round brush for this that's sizable, maybe like a 5 or a 6. And to begin, I am just picking up the color. I'm starting with purple, and I'm going right to left, left to right. If you want more saturation, you can always dip into your actual paint set and get more paint to make it more vivid, the colors. I'm just kind of going back and forth, no rhyme or reason, and we're just filling this up. We're almost going to do like an ombre effect, so it's going to be darker on the top and lighter on the bottom. So you can keep that in mind as you paint. I'm grabbing some more purple, fluorescent purple. I'm just spreading that around. And I'm kind of connecting it to the portion that we did above. I want them to touch and not be so spaced out. And remember, you're just painting a sky, so anybody can do this. It's super easy. Now I'm going to grab my pink. This fluorescent pink will really pop on your page, let me tell you. I'm kind of just moving down the page. And I keep grabbing like a diluted portion of the paint. Now moving on to orange. I love this fluorescent color. This fluorescent orange will wake anybody up. And I'm just kind of making sure that it touches the pink because I want them to blend together. When we're complete, we don't really want too much white showing through. It depends on what you want your sky to look like, obviously. But in my piece, I'm choosing to pretty much fill it up with mostly color. I'm just filling in some areas at the top. And maybe a little bit over here. That's why I find art so relaxing, is because you can make it your own. It's all your choices, your own call. It's your piece. I'm adding a little bit more fluorescent pink. And just a a little bit to the bottom as well. And we are almost done with our sky. Just filling in some spots here and there. After we are done, we're going to let this dry completely before we move on to our next step. Dry time. Okay, so I went ahead and let this dry completely. Now we're going to be moving on to our next step, which is our trees. You can choose any dark brown of your liking. I am using raw umber, and it's just a nice brown. So starting from the corner, I am going to make like a cone, if you will. You want it to be pointy at the top, thicker at the bottom. And then I'm just loosely making branches coming out of the sides. I'm making sure that my brush is standing up at about 95-degree angle so you can get some crisp lines. And now I'm just moving on to the next one, doing this one a little wavy because trees are all different. And that's what I love about them. So here I'm just doing the branches and then making the bottom thicker. Dipping back in to get some more. And that's really it. Now, this one I want to be a little more predominant, so I'm making it thicker at the bottom and a lot taller than the other two trees. I want it kind of coming into the middle of the canvas. And I'm just going to fill that in. Branches off of branches. And you're just going to repeat that step until you basically fill up all of your edges with trees. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Now when you're using the water brush pen, if you feel like it's too dry, just give it a little squeeze. I'm doing some areas that are a little darker than others. So maybe it's got like a little bit of a shadow to it. And I'm going to make that a little bit thicker. Moving on to our next tree. Anybody can do this. Alright, I'm just demonstrating here that I'm holding that brush straight up so that I can get those nice thin lines. And it's okay if your branches are touching, if they run into each other, that's totally natural. I'm just deciding where I should put the next tree. We're going to do it to the right and kind of curved. My personal style of painting is illustrative, so I really enjoy making things whimsical and using colors that maybe wouldn't be there in real life. I like to add a little bit of dreamy into my work. Alright, this tree is fun. I like it. Alright, let's start at the top right here. And we're going to do this one pretty dark. Do some branches. Just like that. And if you need to turn the page, go ahead and do that. You don't have to paint upside down. If it's just too difficult, go ahead and turn that page. I'm going to turn mine in about a minute. And I love how there are these bright peaks of vivid colors laying underneath these dark trees. I feel like that's such a great representation of what it's like to wake up in the morning really early in the winter, and you just see all these beautiful colors. All right, I'm going to turn the page here, turn the book rather, and I'm just going to continue making my way around. Also, if you'd like your branches to be really thin, you can go ahead and use a size 1 round brush to achieve a great look instead of using the water brush pen, but that's your call. And we're almost done. Dip back in for some more paint, and we're going to do one coming out of the corner. And you can tell I'm kind of leaving some space between the trees. That's totally just so that I can, at the end, put a little grass in between each tree. And that's it for the trees. Next up, we're going to add a little more detail, so stay tuned. If you like it like this, then that's cool too. Then you just let it dry and take off your tape, but I just felt like it needed something else, you know? So we're going to let our trees dry and move on to the next step. All right, so after our trees have dried, we are going to move on to our next step. I'm using metallic gold, which is beautiful, let me tell you. And you're just going to do a little highlight on each tray, just on the trunk of it, maybe going all the way up to the top. And I feel like that's going to accentuate the shadow that we have, the darkness, depth, if you will. Yeah, so we're just going to do that to each tray, just a tiny bit. As you can see it a little bit more on the darker trees. It makes that gold just pop. And I'm just going around doing each one. I love gold. In artwork, there's something about it. It embellishes and it makes the viewer go, is that gold? So yep, we're just doing the same thing to every tray. And I'm just dipping right into my paint set because I want it to be pretty concentrated. All right. Once that's done, we are going to finish off with paint splatters. So, get a good amount of paint and using a tapping motion over your other finger, you are just going to tap, tap, tap all over. And I want a majority of it to be in the middle of our canvas. So, I'm giving it my water brush a good squeeze here. I'm going to get nice and wet, reloading, getting more paint, and just going to town. You can do as much or as little of this as you like. And then I think what we should also do is we should splatter some fluorescent purple just to tie it all together, because that was the first color that we used, so I feel like it would be fun to make it the last color that we use. And we're doing the same motion, just tapping over the finger. I think it looks pretty good. I can't wait to see what you guys create. All right, and now we're just gonna do with the fluorescent purple, some strokes of grass in between each tray, maybe 2 or 3 blades of grass, and then move on to the next section. And this is just filling up some negative space and just tying a little bit more together. And that is our finished product. Thank you so much for watching, and a big thank you to Grabie Art for collaborating with me. They are offering you guys 15% off your entire order with a discount code of KDPNJ. All information will be in the description below. Bye guys.